Hey, Marcus Bronzy here from How to Kill an Hour. We recently had the chance to sit down with the guys from Top Gear. So without further ado, here's us in Leicester Square at the Odeon having a chat with Paddy McGuinness and Chris Harris.
You've got his Rolex.
What did you drive?
There. I came in the back of a Mercedes S-Class. I was really treated this morning, and it was. I like going in the back of an S-Class.
There's a lot of leg room in there.
So I had 2 hours of the cricket, watching us finally beat South Africa, which was lovely. Then I wanted the journey to end, and it kept going.
I tell you what I like the back of, as we're talking wanky being driven about things.
You like being in the
a
back
7
of what?
Series.
Of who?
A 7 Series.
No, mate, that's all. 7 Series rides too hard.
No, I tell you what, you've got more leg room.
Not a problem.
And
for
you've
me,
got
Pad.
a lot more, and you've got a lot more going on in the back of one of them. I think I like them.
What, you want toys? Do you?
I like toys. Yeah, I like all that. I like the old wireless chargers and all that carry on. Lovely.
That's the difference between a professional car test. I understand the back of an S-Class is better ride, better engineering.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff that people are not interested when they buy one.
Are you more of a guy when you get in a car, Paddy? If there's buttons, you've got to press each of the buttons and find out what they do.
First thing I do when I get in a car is I see where I can charge the phone up easily and where the coffee cup holders are. That's a big thing for me. That there's nothing worse than you're in a car and you get in and you go, where can I put the cup?
What about button etiquette though? When I was a kid, if I got into my father's car, if I touched a button without permission, it's basically a little clip. It was, you know, this is my car. I'm in control. Here we go. Here we go. But so if people get in the car next to me and I'm driving and they just get in and just change the temperature, I'm like, whoa, it's my car.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't get into someone else's car and mess about with all that carry on. I'm on about if I was getting in driving it. Them's the first things I look for.
Cup holder.
Yeah, it's important, Chris. Listen, these days, your car, you're in it pretty much all the time, aren't you? And when you're going to work, no one's got any time anymore, so you do everything while you're driving. So you've got to have your cup holder, you've got to be charging your phone up and everything else.
So you wouldn't drive a Ferrari F40 because it doesn't have a cup holder?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying cup holders are very important.
Right, so Series 28, guys.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Well, look where we are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean...
Should we describe where we are for listeners of the podcast, actually? Because they can't see it.
We're in Leicester Square Odeon.
Yep.
Home to massive premieres over the years, like we were talking before, all the Marvel stuff, Star Wars, James Bond, and now Top Gear. We are dragging it down. We are dragging it down big time. But it shows you the size of the show, really. You know, we've just been doing interviews upstairs with press from South Africa and China and Poland, and it's mad.
Yeah.
You know, it's mad when you're talking to these people, and it's just bonkers. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, we've got some good stuff coming up. We're really pleased with what we've produced. It's a usual mixture of Top Gear mayhem, everything from lobbing cars off dams to some serious car testing, but also racing supercars against fast jets. And yeah, I look back at the last 6 months. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. We've crammed a load in, but I'm proud of what we've produced. I don't normally say that either, but I am proud of this lot. It looks really good. And
you two are looking like you're both injury-free. You managed to get through what looked like last season as injury-free.
Not so much emotionally.
Really?
I was very injured emotionally, but physically kind of okay, really. I mean, I'm surprised Flintoff's still with us.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he spends most of his time trying to kill himself, and he survived this time. He had a couple of close scrapes. He went off the end of a runway lying on what can only be described as a skateboard with a rocket attached to it. And as I saw his legs start to bounce when he hit the grass, I thought, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, there's a picture knocking around, I think. There's a green sports car and some sort of device that someone's
You were in the green
on.
one, weren't you? I was I was driving a shed at the time, an actual garden shed.
Yeah.
Fred was on this skateboard come rocket thing, and what were you in?
A Skyline with 2,000 horsepower.
Is that it? Oh, cool.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, but I'm thinking of getting a sweepstake going in the office about how Flintoff's going to die. We don't know if it's going to be a bungee rocket thing. Yeah, we're going to, but I'm going to get a few quid on it.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do fear in the way that we all do fear.
Yeah.
He's wired up differently, which is perfect for us. I mean, he was employed as a lab rat, and he's executing that perfectly.
I mean, he dragged you into a few things last season. There was that, the
that
finale.
hearse. Oh God, that wasn't a great moment.
The hearse. I mean,
that was I think that's partly his fault. I've got to be honest, because
That's unfair.
Fred's one of them people where, you know, when you go, someone tells you to put the hand in the fire and you go, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, Fred would.
He was that kid at
Yeah,
uni
so
or school,
he's going a bit faster, Fred, and he's
Yeah.
like, gets all excited. And the next thing we know, we're upside down and the roof's crushed and we're all trapped in the car. And I'd like to think he'd learned his lesson from that, but I don't think he has.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
but
No.
before we worked with Fred, we never had a thing called an extraction unit. And now we do.
But you had him jumping up on cliffs, though, didn't you, in the last season as well? I mean, that's one thing, Chris. When you said, "I don't like this. I am not feeling this," that kind of conveyed how scary it was. And Freddie's like, "Oh yeah, go on, I'll have a go." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he doesn't really view it the way we do. It's quite strange. I've never met anyone like that. I thought I knew fearless people until I met Fred.
No, but I think Fred's one of them where he kind of thinks, because it's on telly, he thinks it's safe. So you go, it's all right, it's on telly. I'm like, no, but there's still like a 500-foot drop there, Fred.
Yeah.
That doesn't change with telly. They don't, when you fall off the cliff, go, cut, and the car just hovers and then they put it back on.
Yeah.
It's still real, but in his head, it's on telly, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, when you see later on the premiere with this bungee jump stunt we've done with him, I mean, blimey O'Reilly. But I was there that day, there were a few moments where even he thought this is not too funny and he wanted us to get on with it and get it done. There were a few moments where even he did.
Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff looks scary, so I look forward to seeing that in the next season as well. Also, the chemistry is looking stronger than ever. I'll be honest though, Chris, I feel like you get bullied a little bit sometimes by Freddie. I mean, we've seen him almost rub some mud on you. We've seen him slap a melon on your head. Yeah,
Almost.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
he does.
He does, yeah. Put a melon on your head. Even I think his balls connected with your head.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
other parts of
I-
his body are going
he
to be
has
touching your head in the
actually-
next season?
How many other people have been teabagged
Yeah.
by an international all-rounder in Ethiopia?
They look
See?
sweaty as well in that. You
Yeah.
look pretty warm.
And
in
he's
that, yeah.
getting old as well, so they're starting to really,
Not
they're
getting less
really,
musky.
really
Yeah.
droopy.
Yeah.
Musky.
The whole
good
bullying
word.
thing just makes me laugh. When you're the small man, whichever group of people I'm in, I'm always the smallest, and the small one always takes a bit, and you get used to that. I like it. I thrive on it because ultimately I'll always win because I'm not as stupid as him. So I'm very happy with the balance, and I expect to get a bit of grief. I get my own back a bit in this series as well.
Good to
Oh,
hear.
God. does he?
So yeah, don't worry about it. I'm certainly not the put upon one in this at all. At all. I mean, look at my ears. You can't see them on the podcast, but I've got normal ears. Spock to my left here hasn't got normal ears. I'd rather be small with normal ears than
Bullying.
big with those.
Bullying. Ear shaming, I think they call that.
Is
That's a new one on Twitter. That
Ear
you're ear
shaming.
shaming me.
so. So Paddy, do you feel like your driving's got better now, rolling around with Chris?
I think, like anything, when you're doing something a lot, you get better at it.
You say that, but I've done 2 studios with you, and you still say I'm shit.
Yeah, apart from that, apart from your presenting, but other than that, yeah. But I think, yeah, because you know, I always ask Chris about certain things when we're driving and what have you, or about, you know, taking corners faster, and that's, you know, you'd be daft not to pick his brains for that. But also as well, we have a lot of pro drivers you never see on camera who do, you know, they're fantastic drivers. They do so much stuff outside of Top Gear. So yeah, if you're not picking their brains when you've got a chance, you know, you've been a fool to yourself. So yeah, I think things have definitely improved.
I could be a bit glib at this point and say that they both can drive pretty damn well. They're much better than the average driver. And you couldn't really do this job if you were totally incompetent behind the wheel. It wouldn't be possible. Although, having said that, there's probably been previous Top Gear presenters that have been hopeless behind the wheel. I don't know.
Shots fired.
Controversial.
Yeah, do you feel like your studio game or your banter's better now, rolling with these
No,
guys?
no,
Fucking hell,
banter's,
come on.
my
Do you know what a
banter-
balm is yet?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay. It doesn't know what a
So,
balm cake is.
so my chat's terrible according to Paddy, and the studios. When we prepare ourselves for the studios, the chat I get, we have a run through beforehand.
Yeah.
And quite often in the run through, I'll have a little snipe, and he always pauses and goes, "You complete mug! Wait for when we're recording it." Yeah. And he always standard line is another great line that you didn't deliver on camera.
Yeah, he does all his best stuff
Yeah.
off camera, and I'm like, when it's on, that helps us.
It's
Chris.
go time, yeah.
Do it when that light goes red. Do it then. But when it does go red, he just stands there like that.
Hate it.
And you're
Absolutely
like,
hate
what
it.
are you doing?
I want to sign a contract where I don't do the studio. I just cock about outside in the cars. The
Yeah.
studio.
Record
Is
it, send it
just
to you
dead.
afterwards. Yeah. Right. So what's different this time around then? A lot of people want to know what's different.
We're doing it in the nude.
Great.
Full
Ratings
series, balls out the lot.
What are
I think trainers. I think
Those are-
what you
those-
got to remember it with Chris and all. This is
Yeah.
this is. I'm glad he said that, because this is one of the things what happens when you work with Chris Harris. When you, for instance, when we're travelling anywhere in the world, right? Chris is the kind of guy who pulls you up and has a go at you because you've got a suitcase. Right now, you're on a plane, you've got a suitcase. He goes, look at Mariah Carey with his suitcase. I'm like, that's what people take with them on holiday, Chris.
No, they don't. They take a small bag.
He's literally a Tesco shopping bag, or Waitrose in Chris's case, with a pair of underpants in it. That's him.
Scandalous.
Uh,
travel light and be
yeah.
wieldy. Then you're manageable. You can react to situations. You turn up with 2 suitcases, load of white linen. I mean, honestly, it's like Beyonce.
Humble Bolton lad like yourself as well.
that was a long time ago.
If you're going on holiday, you've got a suitcase.
Yeah,
Don't tell me you've not got a suitcase.
I got the one case. Yeah.
Listen, he pulled me up when I first met him because he saw me put aftershave on. I'm like,
Why would you
Chris,
do
this
that?
is just a
Why would you
normal.
do that?
This is just what people do.
No, it's not. 1 bath a week and travel light.
1 bath a week. Jesus Christ.
What's Freddie like? He looks like he's a bit of a classic sportsman now. Yeah, when it comes to his kind of etiquette.
I keep my eye on him because he has a style team, Fred, doesn't he?
What?
He has like a guy.
Well,
with him
he's
doing
got his own
clothes.
fashion line, Flintoff by Giacomo.
Giacomo, yeah. Yeah, he's
got
always
his
getting
own
he's always getting his hair touched up by
Yeah,
someone and what have you. So yeah, he's
Let's say Fred has bought into the sartorial side of life. He likes to look good. I don't really understand any of that.
Footwear.
What's wrong with his footwear? He's got big feet, hasn't
No,
he?
but some of the stuff he wears in studio, these Nike trainers he wears with the big like luminous balls underneath and all. I don't get that.
Well,
I mean, I've got to say, Paddy, you got a fancy pair of kicks on right
Yeah, but
now.
they're just a white. They're just a white.
I mean, they're not
they're
just a white pair
Yeah,
of
but what I'm
trainers.
saying is that there's nothing there going on. They're just there.
I mean,
Whereas
can you
Fred's
lift
have,
up
like,
your
all
foot for the
kinds of
camera?
things.
I think on the bottom of
That
it.
is.
There you go. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
that's
Okay.
underneath.
What make are they?
All
That's
right.
underneath.
What make are
That's
they?
underneath.
Got the loops on.
That's just underneath.
I've never even heard of them. That's a lady's stat.
You,
That is a
you know
lady's
you can
stat.
buy lubes with like all spikes on the front and all that. That's not me.
Terrible.
Just a nice simple pair. I like that. But
of
Fred wears these ones like where they've got like these mad gel things underneath and all that carry on. It must be
What,
just.
air bubbles?
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
I have not.
He's
clue.
big into those.
He
But
loves the
they
air
make him
bubbles.
even taller because he lies
Yeah.
about his height. I've never met anyone that lies about their height downgrading it. He says
Really?
he's 6'4". He's not. He's a good 6'6".
I said to him once, what are them? He went, Yeezys. I went, you're 42. I went, don't be giving it Yeezys at that age.
Also, the way these two say Yeezy, Yeezys.
The Yeezys, I'm like, you can't be wearing them at your age.
Have you not picked up any greater Manchester or Lancashireisms then, hanging around these two guys?
I'm starting to understand the way they talk a bit. I love the fact that when the show goes out in America, they have subtitles. I'm not kidding. They both
What,
have
you've got
subtitles.
subs?
They have subtitles,
Yeah.
those two, and I don't.
Oh, man.
No, it's impenetrable, isn't it? At times, you know, when he starts talking about that's rate, that's rate.
Yeah. When we're chatting, me and Fred, and then Chris pulls us up on something, when he does tell us how it's supposed to be done properly, I do go, oh yeah, I get that, but I take no notice of it.
Fair
be
enough.
honest.
Well, I think
You're
the
not-
audience has grown massively north of Birmingham, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah, we brought a northern audience in.
Good, too right. Now I feel like Freddie's not here, so he can't really defend himself. If he was here and I was going to ask him what he's looking forward to showing us in the next season, what do you reckon he'd say?
It's torso.
Yeah.
Does he get his
Well,
kit
loves
off again?
He loves getting.
Again?
He's the housewife's favourite.
Yeah.
He loves. There's one particular scene where we're covered in lube.
Right?
And his t-shirt's all stuck to him and what have you. He gets out the car and takes it off. You know, in my eyes, we should have a slow-mo on that bit with some
Torso
kind of
cam.
Yeah, with some a bit of sexy music going under there. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, he likes getting his top off. Does Fred?
I've still got my Christmas socks on. Look at those.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Look at those.
Says a lot.
Yeah.
Well, they were clean.
Brilliant.
See, again, when you go to the sock drawer, you just go for the clean ones. If there's one pair left, you wear them, don't you?
Well, usually, if they're in a sock drawer, they're clean anyhow. So they're all clean in a sock drawer,
not,
aren't they? You don't put dirty socks back in the sock drawer.
No, but you know the way, when you're a student, or like me, if you're 45, you put your socks in the corner of the room. If you leave them there for a week, they clean themselves. You can put them back on again.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's just being a man.
Do you give them? I do, like, once in a while. You have to give them a sniff check though, just to check the socks
Sniff
are
check
right.
everything.
Though. Really?
Most of the stuff he has.
But you
fails
see, no, you're now coming into my way of thinking where you say that's disgusting.
Yeah.
No, at first you were having a go about the suitcase with him, but now you see what he's like. You can see when we're travelling anywhere, this is the constant thing. I go, surely you must have a toothbrush. That's an essential. But he just like gets a few blades of grass off the floor and flosses with them or something, does Chris.
Surely.
You can see he's got his makeup person over there. She's got Paddy's makeup lady. She's really lovely woman actually, and she's she's like his rock because she's around the whole time. But if you see what she puts on his face, it just says orange, more orange, really fucking orange. That's her three options.
House brick's the last one.
Yeah,
house brick.
Two orange. Yeah.
Terracotta right through to house brick.
So we lost a few cars last season. I mean, Paddy, you lost the hearse, the Overtaker.
Well, it was Fred who kind of lost that for me.
But I feel like it was a loss for yourself because I feel that was your thing that you brought to the table.
I really, do you know, it's a strange thing when we started doing the car up and you're out in it. You do forget what that car's job was in its original life.
Yeah.
And it was actually a lovely car to drive. It really was. It's only when you kind of look in the rear view mirror, you go, oh yeah, I remember what was normally kept back there.
And breathe through your nose.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Did it really? It looked like it smelled like that. I don't know if people noticed, but there was like a kind of like mold kind of at the top of the car. And I could almost smell that.
The thing was so wrong. There was the residue of death in there.
Wow.
I think most cars, challenge cars, anyhow, are old, so they're all a bit musty and smelly and what have you. So,
but the Renault 4, so I've rescued the Renault 4. The Renault 4's on its way back.
Oh,
now.
I was going to ask you about that, because that was a very emotional moment.
It's just landed back in the UK, and I'm going to fully restore it. And,
how fucked is it?
It's rooted, but the shell's just about salvageable, so we're going to get it back together again, and I'm going to have a mint Renault 4. It'll owe me about 10 grand at the end and be worth about 2. But I will have another crap French car to go in my shed of crap French cars.
The guy who we got it off was he loved it.
Oh, God.
I mean, it was a mint of that car. I'm saying these cars, I think there's one I've been in where, actually, this is in good nick. And it shows you, and it's genuine within the films. We don't want to wreck them. We won't wreck them for wrecking them's sake. But some of the environments you're in, things are going to happen to the cars, and they're going out in a bit of a hurrah, really.
Yeah.
Rather than just
that's the bit that I find
dying of
difficult,
death.
because I'm sort of connected to that petrol-headed audience. I get a load of grief saying, well, how dare you take a car like that, and it's unrepeatable, it should be preserved. But the 106 Rally, okay, it looked pretty good, and cosmetically it was fine, but it had done 158,000 miles. The shell was a bit weak on it. It probably wasn't going to make another MOT. So either it just sits in someone's lot and rots and it just gets crushed, or it gets sent out driving up a Himalayan mountain. I know what I'd rather have as a send off.
It's a good way to go. It was a good way for it to go, but I felt quite. I didn't have a tear in my eye, but it looked like you hammed it up a little bit.
The guy that was flying the drone that day, or one of the cameramen, I think, just turned around to me after we had to leave it there and get on with the journey.
Okay,
and
so you really did leave it?
No. We left it there and went back 2 days later,
cool.
and then picked it up and brought it back. There wasn't much traffic around. No one was going to nick it. And I just heard this bloke go, "Oh shit, they shot Bambi." He's got it about right. They shot Bambi. So exactly. No, it's coming back. It is back. It's landed in the UK, and I've now got a bit of a project on my hand to make it work again.
Yeah, throw that up on social media. I think that'll
I have done it.
Really
It's brought me less grief, let's say.
Oh, okay, cool.
I thought that it had ended up at Bewley.
No, I've asked to buy it.
Right,
the way it works with the Beeb is, because of the unit where the BBC's funded, they are BBC assets. So I've had to buy it, and then I have to go and restore it. It's a totally uneconomical exercise, but I really want that car.
Fashion, though, isn't it?
Fair enough. Someone's probably going to tell us to edit that bit out. Anyway, right. So before I let you get out of here, if there were 3 of you, I'd probably ask for 3 things from this season that you can tell us that we should look forward to, obviously without spoiling it. Do you want to go first, Paddy?
Roast guinea pigs in Peru.
Okay, then.
There you go.
Deary me. I would say the McLaren Speedtail racing an F-35 Lightning jet, because that was extraordinary. Pab filmed that with me, and we basically had our own private air show at RAF Marham, and it was un-effing believable, that machine.
Oh yeah, that as well.
Yeah, that and the roast guinea pig. Yeah,
and the roast guinea pigs.
Yeah. All right, wicked. So bringing back a challenge that we haven't seen in the past. I mean, that we've seen in the past. And taking it to the next level. And that. Can we have another thing for Freddie? I feel like he's not here. What can we look forward to from Freddie? And apart from the nakedness and the
height, teeth.
Yeah, teeth.
Bowling.
Ginger masquerading as strawberry blonde, tall, throwing himself off a dam.
Right.
There's a lot of things.
Great.
There's a lot of things.
The one that people will talk about at the end of this series is him going off a dam. That is a real Top Gear moment, and I'm sad he's not here to talk about it. But honestly, the seeds he had to do that, because I stood there on the day watching him do it, and every single moment was tempered with, I'm really glad that's not me.
Fred Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, well, you'll see it tonight. You'll see it tonight. That is a bit of a hurry one, really.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, well, I look forward to the screening. Thanks very much, guys.
Is that us?
Yeah, man. I think you're good.
A gentleman.
Cheers,
Thank
Paddy.
you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
So there you have it. That was the chat with the guys from Top Gear. Make sure you click like and subscribe. Check out the podcast. How to Kill an Hour is where you search for Rush on all social medias and obviously on Google as well. In the meantime, stay blessed.